hope that worked. I'm trying some different stuff. It's kind of exciting. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back. I'm happy you're here. We have I don't know what we're doing. That's normally how I run. But we're going to do some more painting. And since we're on the verge of the autumnal equinox, that's hard to say. We're going to do a fall inspired picture. So, having some issues with my audio. Still have this weird delay. I'm trying this. No. The computer will pick up my audio. The phone won't. So I still have this weird delay. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. Oh, well, hello, MLS. It's nice to see you. That's pretty cool. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, Ash. I'm happy to see you. We're going to do a really cool stream. So if I ignore comments, forgive me. I'm sorry. Oh, jeez. That is not the intent. Gosh. Okay, I'm going to remove myself from the stream, and we will focus on the task at hand. Okay. I have no idea if you can hear me, because I can't hear myself. Y'all, can you hear me when I take my safe away? I don't know. This is so weird this time. Okay. Maybe if I just... Okay. Perfect. Very good. All right. So what we have today, of course, a blank canvas, field of opportunity. But we are going to try to recreate this picture. That's what we're going to try to do. And this picture was taken almost 15 years ago off of the back porch of the house that my dad built. And this was actually like a day or two, and this kind of sounds sad, but it's not sad. Don't let this be sad. This was about a day or two after my mom had passed. So that's what this picture is. I thought it was so pretty, and it kind of was symbolic to me. So we're going to try to recreate it. Oh, thank you, Miami Spice. I broke one. See, look at that. And this is what I was doing during Friday Night Live. I was painting my nails. I don't know if anybody caught that. I was trying to keep it on the down low. But yeah, that's what I was doing. Okay, so trying to do a little fall picture. I'm going to stretch my skills here. It's going to be a big stretch. But stretching is good. It's good for your comfort zone. Good for getting yourself out of your comfort zone if you can give a good stretch. All right. Hopefully I don't make my sky super blue like I always do, because for some reason, I don't know how I do that, but it does. So we'll try to do a color wash. Trying to catch some color here. Maybe not that much dog fur will land on this pretty piece of paper here, but it might. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere and it was beautiful. I think I may have mentioned that. I had like an idyllic childhood. I was able to play in the creek, chase butterflies, go get lost in the woods. And this was before a time, you know, before the world had gone completely crazy. I mean, crazy. The world has always been crazy, but it wasn't as crazy back then. And thankfully, if you do live in the country, it takes a little longer for the crazy to get out there sometimes. A little longer. I mean, it lived out there, but most of the time it wants to be by itself. Anyhow, so I spent a lot of time outdoors. And my daddy was the kind of fella, he loved to have knowledge, he liked to learn. So we would go for walks out in the woods and just look at the different trees and, just he'd tell me what different trees were, like persimmon and buckeye and um, sweet gum, which sweet gum are the ones that have these really mean cockleburs that will roll your ankle if you're out there not paying attention to where you're walking. So, and if anyone's wondering where Volstorm is, this is quiet time. That's why he's not on board right now. Got the football game on in the background, so it's nice and relaxed. The Titans are struggling, which is annoying, but it's okay. That's what Sundays are for. Okay. Now this is where the stretch will come in. We are going to stretch with some color. All right, if anyone's still out there watching, let me know if you're still getting audio or not. If you're not, you won't know that I'm asking this question. If you are, give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miami. Yes, nap time. Quiet time is nap time. Let's see what we get here. I probably shouldn't have put so much blue in that corner, but that's okay. We'll see what we get. Just fine? Yes, just fine. I say that a lot. I don't want to know what your voice to text is doing. MLS. See where my mind goes? Straight to the gutter. Straight to the gutter. Thank you, Ash. You shouldn't be doing that while you're driving. Just just FYI. People do whatever, but still. Be responsible. Lord have mercy. I'd like to tell you exactly what I'm doing as far as like technique. I really don't know though. There is a technique to it. Um, anybody's ever done watercolors, it's really, you know, it can turn into a horrible muddy mess, Or it can be lots of fun and you're just like, like finger painting. Bring some water down here. Not any color, so we won't do a color wash. We're just gonna get this damp. Spicy naps are good, especially if there's pups. What? Wait, no, maybe not spicy. I don't know. Depends on what the dogs ate. I'm imagining relaxed pups sometimes have, you know, flatulence issues. That's what I'm imagining because that's what my dogs have, issues with flatulence. Probably a little more than y'all need to know, but hey, it's okay. So I'm trying to set the scene for some background colors. In watercolor, you try to paint the light first. That's how I always think of it. You paint the light first. And I don't have the right brushes. I'm not using like the right. These are more for the acrylic brushes or acrylic paints, but run what you brung. It's like racing. Yeah. My pups are asleep too, just in another room. Hopefully they don't come up barking at something. I'll be working sometimes in my home office and then they'll just go nuts for I have no idea why. They just lose their ever loving puppy minds. Nice. So we're probably not going to do Down Home Network for any of the loyal fans that happen to know that Dictionary Diva and Volstorm do Down Home Network every Sunday. We're probably not going to do that this week. Just had a little too much going on. Mildred has been under the weather and she's been having a little tough go. I love Mildred. If you're out there listening, girl. Um, Not only that, but just why force it? Why force it? Time sometimes doesn't line up for stuff. And I never want anybody to feel pressured, especially myself. I do not like feeling pressured. I have enough of that in real life. Why bring it to the YouTubes? Hmm. This might get there. I'm not sure if it will, but it might. This might get there. Where the look I have that I want. We'll see if it does. Y'all, y'all can judge it after it's done. Tell me how good I did or not. I already see a problem, but we won't worry about that. So if you have any like creative activities that you enjoy doing, I feel like you should really give yourself a moment to do that. Give yourself time to enjoy just getting back in touch with that part of yourself. And not just for the completion of it, not just to complete a task, but just for the sheer joy of it, just to enjoy it and allow yourself that. I feel like life is going way too fast. Way too fast. So much. This is looking like a muddy mess. In my perspective, yeah, I hope Mildred feels better. I mean, she is on the mend. She really is. Sometimes life just starts hitting you hard all at once, and just lots of stuff coming at you from every direction. I've been there. Normally, I will kind of just disappear. That's how I deal with it. I just, whoop, I'm gone. Time to regroup. Just focus on the necessities, and then come back to the land of the living as I'm ready. Oh, this is looking like a muddy mess. It's okay though. You like how I self-talk myself? Like, it's okay though. It's okay. It's okay. Much like Bob Ross and his happy trees. Happy little trees. Sorry, kicking the camera. Don't mean to do that. Um, I started watercolor. Oh dear. How long ago was that? Maybe we don't need to know the time, but it was a while back. And I'd taken an art class at a community college to fulfill an elective. And I was like, yeah, I'll do art. Because I'd done acrylics since I was a teenager, but I didn't have a lot of exposure to watercolors, you know. Oh, thank you, Miami. I'm horribly critical. Horribly critical. Working on that though. That's why this is a stretch. To publicly display your creative endeavors, that is a stretch. So one of our, I think we had to do like some illustration with real models. We did that. We did, I feel like we did some sculpture too. And I think we might have done something with oils. I can't remember. I think that was one of those where he's like, you can use oils or you can use acrylics. And I only had acrylics. I had done this really, I love vintage advertisements from like the 20s, 30s, 40s. I love that aesthetic of, I'm letting this dry a little bit, y'all. And so I had done a really pretty replica of a girl that was sitting in a vineyard just pulling grapes down from the vine. And somebody was like, "Ooh, that's really pretty. Can I have it?" It's like, "Yeah, sure. You can have that. I don't care." So, and then we did our section on watercolors. And I feel like feel like that's where I had done this one. That had to be. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry for the glare of the ring light, but I had done this one in that class. And that was more of the dry technique. And then I started learning about this wet technique, which to me is a little harder because you really have to have some nuance with where you place your color and how you have to have an idea of where the water is going to carry that color on the paper because you just don't quite know. It's not intuitive. It takes a lot of practice, and I have not practiced this a lot at all. Hey, Mel. What's up, girlfriend? How you doing? We're gonna let this dry just a little bit. Um, I probably should have had some other stuff, but we will look at our inspiration photo. This is the inspiration, a real life photo I took about 15 years ago. And we're going to try to recreate this. I've been holding on to that picture for 15 years, thinking at some point I would come back and try to paint this, kind of to, it just was symbolic for me after my mom had passed. I was sitting alone back there on the porch and kind of like thinking about life, like, man, what a strange turn of events. You just don't think about your parents. Moving on to the next plane, and I didn't. I was, kind of selfish. So I just didn't really. This was a moment of reflection for me to think about, you know, how much she had done for me, the fact that she was just as human as I was. It's not a sad picture. I don't want anybody to think it's sad. Just a point in time and reflection. Oh, I really need my other brushes, but okay. Tell myself it's okay a lot. I haven't had to travel this week. It's been good. I do kind of enjoy traveling. You never know what new adventures you're going to run into, especially for me, because I seem to encounter odd adventures. Um, like Wednesday of this week was the day that felt like nothing wanted to go right. I had kiddo that was dragging, and I had an important appointment I needed to get to. But I was like, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to freak out. It is what it is. So as I'm driving to the appointment, the city was nice enough to leave a very massive pothole on the road. And I hit it. Ooh, I hit it hard. Like, bam. Sounded like I crunched something bad. And I'm like, I bet I've screwed something up. So I get about 3 blocks down the road, and sure enough, I lost pressure in my tires, and the alert came on. It's one of them fancy cars where it tells you that you have a flat before you start feeling you have a flat, which is kind of nice. Anyone's driven a car like that where you can't know that you've got a flat when you have a flat. It was kind of nice to be alerted beforehand. That was kind of nice. And so I still had my appointment to get to, so I just park the car and I go on and I get into my appointment and get that done, and come out. And of course, me being me, I'm like, I'm going to change this tire myself. I can do it. So I do not have the right kit in my car. Why would I? That's just silly. I don't have the right kit and make the attempt to start changing it. And I realize because I don't have the right kit and I am a good 20 years removed from the last time I had to change my own tire, so I'm not near as strong as I used to be. I don't have enough strength to loosen the lug nuts with the crappy equipment that they give you in the car. So I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do? Forgetting completely that I have roadside assistance. Completely forgot I had that. Hey, I'm a genius. Anyway, I have roadside assistance. I've never used it before. I had never used roadside assistance. And so the fella comes out and he's nice. He's a nice guy. Yeah. And he's like, he has a portable impact wrench. So he takes it to the lug nuts and he's like, oh, these weren't loose or these weren't tight at all. And I just look at him and I snicker. I was like, no, they weren't tight at all. They weren't too tight. No, it wasn't too tight at all. Anyway, he changes it real quick, lickety split, no big deal. And I get on my way, get back home. I see, while as he is taking off the tire, I see that the rim is bent completely, like bent, bad. I'm like, well, new rims ain't cheap, but I wasn't gonna freak out about it because what good does that do? And get home, do my work, which work is just weird. It's a weird world right now. Anyway, do that. I have a couple other appointments I have to do, so I get in my old pickup so I can do my other appointments. And oh yeah, it's early dismissal day from school too. So I had to pick up my kid like at 1. Got that managed where my in-law was able to pick her up. Thankfully, I'm very, very blessed to have that ability. And very late in the evening that day, I'm heading home. And a poor little skunky, ran out in the road in front of me on the way home. And so the exact same tire that, now of course I'm driving a completely different vehicle, but the exact same tire on this vehicle is the one that suffered from the skunk smell. So it was kind of, I thought it was kind of ironic that that happened that way. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to tell me, Lord, but I guess I need to start listening because I'm missing something. I'm not sure what I'm missing, but it's pretty clear I'm missing it. I didn't react bad to the whole day, and I think that's probably the point. So how did I handle the little bit of adversity that happened? Because believe me, it could have been a lot worse. Could have been on the interstate and busted the tire. Could have had a wreck. Could have had my kid with me. There could have been all kinds of bad things. So I was grateful for how it happened. I saw that, Mel. A little Kangi. Kanga and Roo. Does anybody remember that from Winnie the Pooh? So Mel got Roo. Oh, that's kind of sad, Mel. Don't think about it. I got Thumper. No, not Thumper. Flower from Bambi. You got Roo, and I got Flower. Oh, Lord. Hmm. I need to stop and allow some of this to dry because if I don't, we will have a nice little mess. But of course, I can't stop fooling with it. Why would I stop? Let's see what we can get this to do. Yeah, you feel bad for a little critter when you hit it. See what this color does. See how it spreads across the paper. I tried to tape it today, um, so it tries not to travel as much, but this is not like exceptionally high grade paper for watercolors. I'm pretty sure I got it at Walmart, so it's still gonna travel. I'm trying to think of any other adventures that I've had lately. 'Cause I do it. I'm one of those people that's a little extra. I have different things happen to me in my life that leave me scratching my head like, how did that happen that way? I don't know. I really don't get out and do a lot. All right, this is where somebody should tell me stop. Let it dry. Let it rest for a little bit. Well, hey, Jungle Mink Shelley. Thank you. Thank you. I'm piddling. Have to let it dry for a little bit so I can get some more color flow. But if you haven't seen, this is the inspiration picture. That's where we're at. You can see that mine's coming out a lot more vibrant. Interesting. Isn't that funny? But that's the nice thing about art. Maybe you can see it as you feel it, paint it as you feel it. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. This is just a really fun way to share, kind of a quiet hobby with others. Let the light shine a little bit. So down here we've got quite a bit of dark. I don't want it to overwhelm the picture, so I might add more light still down here before I begin throwing in the darkness. It's a nice way to look at it, right? Try to make sure you see all the light first. Some people have like a little palette thing that they'll mix their colors in, which I could theoretically do. I could do that right here. I could. You guys can see. I feel like there needs to be some more light right through here. My paper's bowing. Just a smidge. Oh, hey, Yamaha. What's up? Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. We're having a pleasant little Sunday. Yesterday was UT game day, which is a lot of fun. It was very hot, though. It was a very, very hot game. So worried about my team. They don't seem to be showing up quite right. I don't know what's up with that. Hmm. Is it time to paint the dark yet? I really don't want to. I really like how these colors are just bam, like bam. Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I hope everyone's had a good week. Everything's going well. All right, let's throw some color down here. So going back to the question earlier, Miami Spice, about watercolor. I don't know if I actually learned how to do watercolor, but I was exposed to it and I kept an interest in it. And I feel like sometimes you're exposed to stuff. You're like, that's cool. But then if you don't make the decision to be like, I think I want to piddle with that or learn more about it, or it can go to the wayside. Oh, and it has, but different seasons in my life, I'll pick it back up again and, just get back into it. Let this sit for a second. Needs to dry a little. Maybe this will actually come out the way I want it to come out. It's getting close. Ish. Hmm. Yeah, Yamaha, I've been catching up on your ghost stories too. And then I'll put a comment up on your stream. I'm like, he's gonna think I'm a stalker, and I promise I'm not. It's just whenever I have time, I catch them. Ooh, a scary movie? Watch party fun. I have a little friend that that's her whole genre is she'll watch really, really old retro scary movies that are so they're just cute and campy. And then there was one I was watching of hers the other day, and I said to myself, because it had to be made in like the late 50s, early 60s, because it's still in black and white. And some of the audio you could tell had been completely dubbed over, because I'm sure that's what film studios had to do. And the audio sounded so inappropriate, just so inappropriate. I was like, did viewers back then catch all of the subtle innuendo that was happening with those old movies? I don't know. I really don't know if they did or not. But I'm a prude. I'm like the dirtiest minded prude on the internet. So I probably catch stuff I shouldn't be catching anyway. That didn't sound appropriate. I'm like, did viewers catch this? Because that is just naughty. I like to think that everyone 50 years ago um, was so much more pure than we are now. I know that's not true. Like I can't remember the trivia of this, but or who the guy's name was, but the guy from Hogan's Heroes, Yamaha, you might know this, and his affinity for home videos, homemade videos that were of an inappropriate nature. Um, oh, what was his name? Anyway, so I know people were not pure back in the day. It was not. I think it was just more hidden overall. Just not something that people really talked about or broadcast, except privately. You know. Hmm. I'm just super proud of you, Yamaha, for getting out there and doing it, doing the recordings and taking the time. Your audio quality sounds so good. I have this, I've made myself this wonderful excuse that I can't start doing audio recordings of narration until I have like a studio built in my garage. This is my excuse. I've created a very good excuse why I can't get it done. Seems legit, right? There's a little patch in the original picture of some of this. See if we can catch it on the paper. See how muddy it'll turn out. Maybe a nice big pine tree right there. We'll see how steady my hand is. Gonna make Miami nervous. Don't do that. All right. This is very odd. Normally I have something more to talk about, but I think I'm actually concentrating so much on this that I can't really talk. That's probably a good thing. Of course, there's plenty of ASMR art folks that they'll do their art, but they don't talk. That's just them doing their art, and it's not a lot of talking. So, what am I worried about? Don't have to talk. I don't have a pocket squirrel like Bob Ross did, which was adorable, if anybody remembers that. I can't remember his name, the little squirrel, just that he had one. Hmm. There is an area in the very background, about right here. So it's black, almost. I didn't realize that comments do help on pages, but I saw somebody else had said that, and I was like, okay, then I will give comments because if it does help, then that would be great. I like to support the folks that are doing good work. Share the love, right? Yeah, you guys probably cannot hear this, and I hope you can't because Ballstorm would be mortified. But I can hear him having a very pleasant little slumber in the background. Like the perfect day for it. A nice Sunday slumber. Unless you're hopped up on caffeine, like I am a little bit. Let it dry again. We're getting something. Quite a few colors. And the gradients are not bad. I kind of like the getting a little bit muddy through here. I like that because it looks like leaves. Kind of that leaf definition that you'll see. I like that. Up next will be the pine tree that goes up, and then some of the other little trunks of trees, and maybe some more definition of some colors. And maybe I'll have this painting that I've been holding off on for 15 years. Maybe I'll actually have it done. Maybe it's a sign of completion. And that would be kind of cool. Okay. I'll tell him that, Miami. I will tell him that. He would die. Or he'd laugh. He'd probably do both. He'd be like, yeah, it'd be funny. Okay. Just maybe another few moments to allow this to kind of settle down. Then we'll do the tree trunks. Be almost done. Then we'll compare to the original picture and, see how I did. This is my favorite time of year. I used to catch myself with kind of like the seasonal affective disorder. If you know, you know. If you've ever started to feel that, and I would feel it come on me, kind of like this descending wave of, I don't know how you even describe it. It feels like a fog. You just don't have the same level of energy, you don't have the same drive. Everything feels kind of flat. But I have not experienced that in about 3 or 4 years. And there he is. Yeah, I haven't had that problem in a few years. So, and non-medicated too. But that's my journey, nobody else's, it's not like I'm trying to say don't take medicine. I'd never say that. But if you've experienced that, it can be, especially if you don't identify it. Like if you don't take time to identify what's going on with you, it can feel overwhelming and feel like you're out of control. Like the locus of control has shifted away from you into something else that feels very foreign. So I recognized what was going on with me. And there have been seasons where I'm like, I will try medication. And then there are seasons that I'm like, I don't want to try anything because, and the seasons I'm talking about are like two, two seasons of my life where I'm like, I'm going to try medicine. And then I was like, I will not try medicine. And, oh, this is like that big step. This is like that Bob Ross. Remember when he would do that? And he would just do this huge, let's put a happy little tree right here. And that's really where I want to put my happy little tree. But oh dear, my my paper's warbly. I don't know if it's going to be perfect. Oh dear. Are we going to do it? Should we do it? Vitamin D3. Swear to it. Yes. I There's a book called something like The Miraculous Effects of Mega Doses of D3. I will pimp that book for as long as I have breath in my lungs because 10 years ago I found it. I'm a completely different person now. About 60 pounds lighter, better outlook, happier, better attitude, better mindset. I Is vitamin D3 all of it? No. There's a lot of work that went into it, but yeah, I D3 is life. Oh, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do this big old mm, I'm nervous. I'm scared. Okay, let's go for it. Mm. Oh, that was hard. That was hard. Because it's not perfect. Do you see that? Lord, that was hard. Oh. Alright, let's do the other little tree limbs. Yamaha. Thank you. No, see, Yamaha, right now. It's never too late to be what you might have been. You can still be that artist, man. Wait, you are an artist. I know you work with leather. I'd love to see your stuff. That would be really cool. You have to share it with us one day. Oh dear. Okay, let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. There's a lot of trees in this painting, or in the original. There's a lot of trees. So we're just gonna do what we're gonna do here. I don't know if I'll do all of the little limbs and whatnot. We'll do some of them. Yeah, why not? Why not? This little tinkle of the paintbrushes as they hit the jar, does that come through? Because that's actually a really soothing sound, at least for me. It'd be kind of cool if that did come through. It is a cool sound. Little ting ting, ting ting ting. Nice, cool, very good. Well, if I was chewing on something, that would probably come through too, and that would be disgusting. Not one of those kind of shows. Ew. Do some people really enjoy watching that stuff? Because I feel like it makes me cringe. It hurts my heart to watch mukbanging shows. But that's just me. I'm not judging them. I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I am judging a little because I'm human. Like Jay-Z said, pray for them. Like I'm praying for them if those shows come up. Like, y'all, stop. Stop with it. It's not good for you. Stop. It's funny where like I'm looking at the chat, but I'm totally confused by the chat right now. I understand how the expert feels sometimes when he's like, I'm lost in the chat. And then he tries to catch up with the conversation. And he's totally off. Those are fun times. I won't make that mistake. That's the fun thing about learning from a friend who does YouTube first. You watch what they do. You're like, okay, I am learning what not to do or what to do. Because he does have a really cute um, community, which is nice. This totally looks like a pine tree, right? Totes. Totes my goats. Kept a little bit of that blue right there. Nice. Some of that little sky. Kind of coming through. Holy cow. This is actually almost coming out right. Holy crap. Who knew? Y'all are seeing it live too. You believe that? A bit of green right up in here. There's a tree behind it, but it kind of wraps around it. Man, I captured that. That is so awesome. That is so cool. Well, it was nice of MLS to pop by. I appreciate that. And Shelly, I like seeing you guys over here. It's really cool. Of course, Yamaha and Miami Spice and Melissa Jane and Ballstorm is contractually obligated to show up. You know, it's in his contract, so he has no choice. Um, but everybody else, I really appreciate that. That is so cool. Put a little bit right here. We're getting there. We are getting there. What do you know? So, trying to think if there's more I want to share about the day that this picture was taken. I don't know if I do. It's kind of a sad day, but I wasn't sad. If anyone has had, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to share about that. But the passing of a loved one can be horribly saddening, like, and make you really sad. I, how many times can I say that word? Good Lord have mercy. But, or it can be a blessing. And actually, like, I would tell people, because I work in the field where that is a part of our lives. If you work in it, you know. And some passings are like the transition from this life to the next plane. They're beautiful and peaceful, kind of like a joyous occasion, like a birth can be. And those are the most pleasant, like truly, like where the person's ready. They've made their wishes known, the family is ready, they're accepting. It's not a tragedy. There are some that are like that. My mom's was. She oh no, I took this picture about 15 years ago. 15 years ago. Yeah. And yeah, it's taken me this long to get to a point where I'm like, I think I can look at this and not be, you know, overcome with some emotion that I hadn't dealt with, because that happens too. Sometimes you have emotion that you haven't dealt with regarding that human that you lived with and they brought you into the world and they had their own baggage. You've got yours. You try not to make the mistake as a parent to put your baggage on your kids because you remember the baggage that your parents accidentally put on you as a kid. You hope not to do the same. At least that was my hope. I was like, I don't want to put my baggage on my kid. Lord knows. I got enough baggage. She doesn't need mine too. She can have her own. But yeah. All right, how are we coming with this? I think we're almost at a point where I can be somewhat satisfied. Somewhat. See if we can lay some more color down. Yeah, I didn't want to put a lot of baggage on my kid because of my own issues. Knowing that she would have her own issues, I did not want to give her mine too. No need. She'll still have baggage from me anyway. I know she will. That's what happens. Just gonna be what it's gonna be. Yeah, I think if I keep going, I'm gonna muddle this up too much. It's not quite right. There's still some more darkness I need to put in through here. But there's the original. That's the inspiration pick. And there we are. The essence is almost right. Yeah. Yeah, I think of it as a transition. I do. I think of it as that. Just like the birth of a baby, the entry of a little soul into this world. And then a beautiful death can be the exit of a soul from this world. So that is, I think that's as far as I'm going to go today. I'm going to let this dry and let this paper flatten out. And the air conditioning has not been on all day in this house, and I'm roasting. So it's been a.
Whew,
Whew,
I'm
I'm
hot,
hot.
a little
Little for
verklempt.
Clint.
But
But
thank you
thank you
guys.
guys.
I've
I
really
really
enjoyed
enjoyed
having
having
y'all.
y'all.
So
So
I'll see you
see you
next
next
time.
time.
Bye.
Bye.